Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. January 19th, 2023. January 19th, 2023. Guys, this audio today might not be too long, but we can discuss a few things now. So we tell you yesterday, also we stopped at the beginning. And that we want to do. Of course, communicators with me, Cashbox dinner. So, before we even talk about Usa, we stopped yesterday. I think it's the airport area, and that and Vimetco, all these companies where they shut down and stuff like that.
And the Supreme Court as well.
And the Supreme Court, yes, thank you, Kashi, and the Supreme Court as well. Salon people, you see, this platform we always do. They make sure say we they preempt, we they foresee, we get foresight, we they look into the future, of certain things. Them and come and point them out clearly. Say, hey, let we take with them. Who side we they go? Let we not look who side we go for them. Now who side we buck with foot. That is the thing we don't say that communicators are imparable also. But you see certain people that we see the sort of like an injunction again, we'll go say the PPRC put on the APC lower level elections. And this goes to the point where Cashbox on the make now. You see that the bad side this of this team business, because all this nonsense where they go on today within the APC, all the petition them, everybody they complain and cry. Now because of this team, this nonsense. Where yesterday, of course, we don't play on audio where Dr. Samora come out, don't pull in yourself, come on, they say, no mix pan team. Now APC represents this team business. Now, don't make, we don't reach out, we don't reach out like today. For the PPRC get for the stop the APC in progress. Now, the PPRC chairman is doing job as the regulatory body, where they regulate political parties. They're doing job because people are going to complain within a political party and then they don't listen. And then the responsibility for regulate the political party. So this is the thing what they say about them team nonsense here. We reach to this point. We don't make the like today. A lot of people feel disenfranchised within the APC party. We audio them. Members of parliament and they call them there. They say they go take dogs, give them kush, give them drugs. They go perpetrate violence in communities across the country. This is the problem with the like today or choose us alone. But I can't say this audio I don't go long today. But this is some of the things where we want for mention and talk now. Again, we wait for the judiciary. Now, less than 5 months to elections. The judiciary don't go all the public hearing. Again, it's a facade for the international community. Let them paint this picture like for say, oh, Salon, this country, so. The Supreme Court will then get a hearing, then bring and come publicly. Let the people participate, let the people see what's happen inside the court. They like today, elections will not get time again. We still a battle. Who's kind of election will get for use? Where we know say clearly in the Constitution, section 38A, there was an amended section. They amended them in 2001 for make light of the fact that when we use the PR system in 1996 and 2002, we not be get constituencies them established because of the rebel war. So therefore, because we not be get a constitution at a particular point in time, what did they do? They say for now go back retrospectively because the time when Manabireka overthrow will be they use a decree. They are a decree. They don't make a constitution, a decree. So we go for make amends to the constitution because when we use the PR system, it will be legitimate. And the only reason we use PR system because we get rebel war. Part of the country they will not be for access. So James Jonah at the time recommends that we use the PR system. So we come back 2001, can make the constitution for amend them just for make that provision. Let us not commit a coup, a treasonous act. Because again, even that safe, we don't go hold anybody accountable because there was no constitution at the time. Because that decree was the military government. Now, we say we forgive everybody. Nobody not commits crime now. We use what be available at the time because PR system make provision for area where they for reach and access. Who say rebel lembide who go use the PR system. But now democracy don't mature to the point where we people them, they elect their own leaders them, that they constituency them. Why we want for change that again? When are the normal way that they would perform with politics? Now the president come out, go announce, say they for do a decree, they don't see the documentation. We talk all here. The Supreme Court sit down up at this case here, forgive a verdict, condemn the act of the president. We will not tell them how they do the job, but we don't say that the constitution are black and white, it's written, it's clear, and make them very clear for say, at the time when they announce elections, if constituencies don't exist, now the only time that when the president can consult with NEC. That's what the constitution say. Oh, the time when they announce election, who said they announce election? Around May or so of 2022. Constituencies exist. Then constituencies are where they so right now. They get a lifespan of 5 to 7 years. They don't expire until 2024. So some people, what is the point? We don't say anything there. The constitution is very clear about this matter. So when it comes to the PR system, we don't say now, but the Supreme Court, this is not a 2 for if you hold live hearing. Nothing when they sit up and 2 days. They don't know. Guys, look at the Constitution. Section 38, subsection 4. It talks about boundary delimitation. The boundaries they all get right now, then good. From 2017, and then do last boundary delimitation. And get 5 to 7 year lifespan. By 5 years, now they for begin to do the next boundary delimitation for creating new constituencies if they have to create new constituencies. So what's in the problem now? The constituencies they all get right now, they get a lifespan of 5 to 7. They didn't expire until 2024. So we can still use them in these elections. This is a simple thing for the Supreme Court. We don't need to tell them how they do their work, but I'm just read what the Constitution say. Come on, come in.
And Ibrahim, you know, way this case the wrong time. They say the Chief Justice John they begin for take Dr. Abdullahi Conte the case where they file for American interpret. Ibrahim, these are just interpreting the Constitution. Not to say I for go read the entire one, what's in the section for this peer assistancy. Now I will talk about in the Casbox be pick that in the way say this let's say they want try for clear the image because you always talk about the image cleansing and now for clear the image. Say well then this is to case that we can't alert it, but them man there we point first case where they not get good at Supreme Court where they know one day measure. We say this then just go now like we they say short just flashback. No, you go no more for the first day let us see from there now the world knows we don't begin here this case here. How would this case get for end now? God angry sabi. We talk and say, hey, we are not fall for this case, so we don't care as we don't put life for the first day. We now wait and see if there's honest, if they're not one sitting. Because for interpreting the law say that one day they don't look for interpreting if they don't know how to go. But actually, likely say, when they come to election, if you know type of election go fall, now PR system will go for go by, now constituency based election go for go by, now go angry sabi. No. Today, Ibrahim, case adjourned to when no. Then don't put up a blackout again. So, meaning, they just allow the world know say the European Union, the American ambassador, the President Commissioner, the EU, and the UN, for letting them know say the judiciary don't listen this matter. They don't begin to talk about how the end. No. Something don't go empty after the election.
Absolutely, and that's very sad. That's very disgraceful for the country. And at least the ECOWAS members of Parliament every day talk about. How are we going to talk about elections 1 year to elections, not for the change we election lost them? But this is what we do alone. This is a very big constitutional crisis. And the fact that the Supreme Court still don't pan this matter today, they say they contribute to this constitutional crisis in our nation. The job of the Supreme Court is very simple. Section 124 and Section 127 now give the Supreme Court the authority for interpret the Constitution. If anybody feel a certain way about the Constitution, say somebody don't breach the Constitution, that the Supreme Court has responsibility for come and give a clear verdict. But you see, this they tell we exactly how we justice system they. The slow nature of these guys, it's like na talkie them, tortoise. Then pace when they move at.
Well, Ibrahim, for me, I don't think it's just like of course, it's an institutional problem that we can't see because, like when you talk about the ECOWAS, where they make reference and say, why are we 1 year to election? Why are we changing, like our elections law? And then you remember the reply of Mohamed Sidi Tunis and say, oh no, the PR system has always been in our constitution. But again, what is the phrase that you normally can use? Condition precedence. Condition precedents get ordained. There are condition precedents where you get permit before. They're not saying ordinary constitution, but again, unfortunately, Ibrahim, there was no one there to contend or for make them clear to ECOWAS. Nobody not been there, unfortunately. And I don't want to go to that story.
Absolutely.
But Ibrahim, let's go back to like the APC side of things. Yeah. Like which we talk another injunction again of the APC party, like the 24th. You remember the very PPRC had told us the 24th is the last day that the APC gets of January for the flag bearer. And I think the 24th is when like the last day, and then it was extended by the court on the 29th. I do not know Uswan on which basis the PPRC man actually say that the 24th and like the 29th when the court say, because surely if I do not know if the PPRC was quoting the constitution and then the judge says something else, Usman actually kind of like gets power passing company. However, we still not kind of like clear on that front 8, Ibrahim. But what we see now, it look like I said, both the 24th and the 29th is kind of like out of like sight now. There is no way like the APC kind of like they able to get a flag bearer by then. Ibrahim, again, waiting they cause this. You talk about the teams. The team A, the team 10, the Big 6, the NRM, the ARM. You see, Ibrahim, APC not serious. Honestly. And this is waiting. You know, some people like they say, oh, why don't they talk about APC? We don't make it clear why. Ibrahim, how can we be in this situation where people cannot find a place where they think like, you know, we don't talk this over and over. Beat somebody genuinely. But with a see story them, like woman the way they ask the one, guys the way they come, say, oh, Jai Koko na infects them. This they talk, say, oh, Honorable Latif na infects them. Like, you see, Ibrahim, the problem keeps going on and on. Because these guys want to be so blatant the way where they marginalize people within the very party where they belong. And I get a story, Ibrahim. You know what? Me and you two, them born we pampo. We go kind of like be at the pool. We go admire somebody else in success because we try for kind of like come out pampo. But if me and you two them born me, they born you like we papa left property for me and you two, but you kind of like they destroy me. Like somebody else gonna be really like, you know what? You enjoy the wealth, then me you left me for abject poverty. So man go say, you know what? We they born this house. And this is what is going on within the APC. Because they feel say the property, when they all get, one person, like bully, they kind of like, they treat them anyhow, and then they go be like, you know what, we upon this horse. Exactly. This is what is going on within the APC. How these guys cannot find a way how therefore solve the problem, Ibrahim. It is selfishness, it is greed, it is witchcraft spirit. I genuinely don't feel say these guys they really like the political party where they belong.
Kashi, you know, myself, Naya, and of course, Comrade Kota, I don't always take in term when we talk about the APC issues. You know, we not ever really go deep the way we want for go deep with the foolishness where they happen. We can always just take on top the surface. But that was why we interfere when we hear about this team nonsense that is going on within the APC party, and we still see them. And it goes back to the foundations of the problem. When you buck your foot, Usa you go for them not to the look. Usa you buck your foot.
Absolutely.
Alfred Peter Contekam with his lawsuit, this and that, make rudeness, blah 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 blah. End up for good at court. From that end, Alfred Peter Conte end on quiet. The other faction them, other people and within that camp again, still when they feel disenfranchised. And we have to listen to their voices. Because if we go back and we get a justice system for a reason, if somebody feels disenfranchised, they feel say they do the wrong, instead of them take the law into their own hands and go and do things and commit a crime, then go through the legal processes involved. So therefore the APC for us from the get-go say, hey, people them, let me meet them outside and they. You know, I see them cheerleading them. I didn't talk about this. I didn't talk about the sort of the status quo, the class, right? I didn't even talk about the class. For me, the politics, they look at the lower level. You see the way women begin complain. Hey, as a political party, the last thing we want, and I feel like women they begin complain within your political party. Women they begin complain within your political party, you're doomed. Because to God in this day, if you spoil the art of woman them for your party, where woman them they control the household in a nation. I know they say inside, especially like Africa, it's a little bit different too. But to God in this day, woman get power. Woman get the power for destroy anything that this dunya and this planet Earth. And if the APC party will see the woman them, then they complain, then they cry, how did they foul them? How did they take advantage of them? The violence they put on them. We take them lightly. It don't reach to this point to reach to like a cash box. That is a fundamental problem that we have within the APC as a party. And we not again, like I would say, we are very cautious. Not to say we don't want to talk about APC, but we are getting close to elections. We focus for the SLPP at this particular point in time. But these guys are making it easy for SLPP for sell the message to Manasi. We matter be going for bonically take the election. We of course people not go accept that, but because they don't again, Kashi comrade, they don't set up all matter be don't set everything in line. Registration process, people able for register. The verification process, people able for verify. Then delete 250,000 names from the voter register. They don't know what they happen. Nobody need talk. This man don't line up everything. They reduce the population of Freetown urban, Western urban. They reduce the population by 42%. All that day, nobody know the talk. These guys don't line up all the weapon them in place for make sure say them bonically take the elections. The southeast then get forget and then get all the votes there. Pass until we get observers they will go watch and make sure say this keeps on turning up ballot stuff there. But the southeast get for clear, it clean for them. The north we get Kande Yumkela and the NGC party then sit only. You get all these other political parties, they all concentrating at the north. The APC they plated today. Man they know for treat themselves fairly. Then they pan team nonsense because they want to get themselves into batches. So they say we then kind of power, you will not support we. Now you be back now opposition. You see, because politics don't become the bread and butter for families and everybody in the country.
Yeah.
This is the problem where we get in cash box and communicate salon people until we release with people until we empower with people until we give with people what they deserve for the people for work outside of politics.
Basically, what the APC is doing, they try for pull bread now people are not. Like what you say, so politics has become like this thing where they all man they eat and bet things.
Yes.
But like now you want disenfranchise other man, you want pull bread now other person not. What do you expect? Before that, you go say before that, let we all be here. Let we all bond this house. Because you don't go sit down, they kind of like treat me like I say I'm a slave in my own father's house.
No way.
This is the problem, Ibrahim.
No way. And there are bigger problems with the APC for the look at. Fatima Biodoka, we don't talk and say, then they get flag bearer. Mara Biori go unopposed. What is the plan? Yeah. And this thing can make, and I don't care, and I make this point clear to the cash box. I don't care what anybody get for say. At this particular point in time, I always don't maintain say, just like way they be going to court, where the Fisher go pass a ruling for dissolve the executive. When nobody no go challenge the matter at the Supreme Court, then say time no day. Now the same way they stick with the fact say, again, it's a democratic society. Everybody getting right for contest for any position. And it take away from you. But me, they talk common sense talk. Dr. Samura Kamara is the leading flag bearer contender in APC. He almost win the last elections in 2018 at a time where people not sabi him. Less than 2% of the votes that Emarabi get over him. They not sabi him. They don't sabi Dr. Samura Kamara. Now they don't sabi this man. This man, they all over the country, they pass. Any side where you go, north, east, south, and west, every side where you go, people, they resonate with her. APC no get much time. Now 5 months on left to election. They only tell me for say, for fet from flag bearership again. Fet for Didi, for somebody will stand with the test of times. And like how they always talk, they put them back now. The only person we come close to Dr. Samura Kamara, now Honorable Ibrahim Kemosi say, now the only other politician than the way go say, he stand the test of times for 4 years. We at least himself we see where they harass him, torment him, go lock her up because he speak the facts of what is the reality of the matter. Dr. Samura Kamara get case stated in the court. We don't even know what they happen with that case. Then go make fictitious case against them. Like case we don't hold no water. Then make be say free Dr. Samura Kamara. And they talk come back again say APC no get time for that nonsense they forfeit for black flag there. These are things we didn't have before sit down at the back room safe. This it happened at this part of with democracy within America. Now they reach a point, man, and they say, we can read see the Democrats, and then 20% they come up for say I want to be the flag bearer of the Democrat. But by the time they feel they narrow, and this is they will talk about 2 years away from the election, 1 year away from the election, away, not tense. Tense. But by the time they make 2-3 man, you should 10, 4, 5, they say, no back up for this man. This man are the most one. Low give Biden or low give Trump. You don't see how it happen because the people they watch, outside the people then lean. In 90 happen at this part of the world. When people then say, the Republican them, but Trump, 90 people they lean to, they say nothing. Now the man is to go win. Yeah, lucky. Guess where? They don't touch human. They say he go touch human any side, they get problem. But this man, 90 people they say they want. If 90 people they say they want, no left. Now the same thing for look at inside salon politics. People should be able to say, let me look at this situation. The way the party they go so now, time not day, who for the begin perfect for flag bearer. Because let me tell you this, Kashi. In as much as we talk to with people, and then people don't begin show so much restraint, and people don't show a lot of maturity within the APC, then all they support the candidate they want for support peacefully to a certain extent. I would say almost 90%. But they don't be very mature. You see how they carry themselves because they don't say, even if all they say self Dr. Samura Kamara so. But we don't see any plausible reason why Dr. Samura Kamara not be flag bearer. But don't say Dr. Samura Kamara not be flag bearer for the APC party. People not go be so disaggrieved to the point where they go say, because not to Dr. Samura Kamara, so therefore APC not for team up. But I don't see any plausible reason why Dr. Samura Kamara not be flag bearer. Other than the case where Mother Bio and put power and say, now each chance to build the money, the man wake out the money come to you, they say na eat. All you want the way eat the money, then they pass free. Dr. Samura Kamara in Indian court. State the official not give a verdict on that particular matter. So these are the things we will be concerned about. But again, if We don't talk yesterday, Kashi. Dr. Samakra not even need for campaign at this particular point because this man don't sell himself already to the people. You put ballots today in name the day infested and Sabia. You know what you say yeah, no Sabia. So this now we say within the APC as a party. So when you look at what's happening at the lower level elections, then so there's political violence, and now go back to the PPRC chairman. If you don't tell we say after January 24, Kashi, so time to fly. January 24. He say any election.
And it's the 19th, so we've got 5 more days.
Thank you. So Kashi
and Kashi, Ibrahim, that already talk so. Let's go to 2018. That already talking very, very important for say if not to be candidate to get like APC lose. That happened in 2018. We got use and Nkrumah for choose someone. I always tell people that say I got the use leader for use possible choose somebody. We got use and Nkrumah say choose someone. People then tie them belt, tie them APC opposition suite. And not give me person. Lord will be at them born APC banner and certain district them for local Kabalaura areas them born APC banners them. They not give me candidate because they're facing the candidate now do or that. You know, like that's what you're talking about. Me very sensitive. What do you mean that happen? Because then they project themselves say, if you not support me, if I get where I come, you not target. Because of that projection, the Ibrahim, nine people in the group and that do or die candidate. But if you almost look at say minus Samura plus Samura and APC support, Ibrahim, not this you don't need for go to the man, or you need for that you even think for no other than the most popular candidate among all of them. All of them qualify, but the most popular candidate today is Samura Kamara. And the reason for that because the time when the people need people for come around and console them, he was there going to mosque, go to church, go up and down. So everybody at that time they just need a hope for see somebody who they talk to, who they give you courage. This is how Samura Kamara become popular at the party. One of the say now say pop and for 12 flag bearer because we say the APC for election and we the preach for democracy. But if we look at the bigger picture, Ibrahim, we put Salon first. Because putting APC first means you don't put Salon first. Choosing a leader where you know give problem now the ballot meaning you don't help for save Salon problem. If you all man think, just get back 1 hour, go back to 2018. What you make could do on this today? You don't know for I say I'm supporting this candidate, but if you got no game, straight I would have got again the true reality without any intimidation. And that look at make teams with Ibrahim now weak politician. Ibrahim, if you believe in yourself, you don't need for go and create say pass and create. You know this. You know, I don't know how for talk again, Ibrahim. But this level when they go so now for bring people and get that fear factor. Say if you know the team A, like when no maker, if you know the team A, now you get for so far. If you pick up a good opposition, I think the people in the hold on to play. Right? So okay, before me second so far, don't all go beer. Hey, don't all go beer. This 5 years I smoke. The fire, if you mistake, the fire now they see 2023 after 2024. Absolutely. So the man now say the suffering will suffer. So not just this small one, the miserable one they be if we make any mistake after June 24.
Absolutely. You know, and comrade, I say these things because now for keep the sanity of the people. Can you imagine the power and the unification we don't go bring within APC party? If tomorrow morning we wake up, APC people don't come together and say, you know what, first of all, one way or the flag bearer brother I get kissed in a court now. Let we all stand with them and ask this government why this case in a court. We all don't see clearly what's in the happen. Why they put this man in empire case where this man don't get anything for deal with? When I look the chance we building in America, this money come inside this administration. Yeah, so the Minister of Foreign Affairs at the time, Nabila Tunis, the Ali Kabas, the one of the UN representative, all these people, now then distribute this money, they scatter. They're not in a case. Then they pass free. Then they pan campaign strategies, all kind of nonsense. Why we own brother of the APC party? Why they all not take this publicly, come out and speak on these issues? But in fact, then guy they are in a serious society. Usai love day, usai belonging day, usai unity day. They all so then go do a live session, Seth. All the flag bearer contenders they come together and say, you know what? In as much as we say if we want this flag bearership, but this we brother or Dr. Samura Kamara, in name not for supposed for the bank case. Then we all can discuss this thing publicly. Then we ask this government why this man in name the this case. Let them break down some of these things. We don't do this thing a couple of times over and over again at certain lives and audios and videos we don't do over for explain. Even when everyone starts with the CIA case cash box, remember, comrade, we'll scatter that one day. Yang, that's why he left. Now the chance rebuilding come. Exactly. The chance to build it don't come. Then sit down, then they watch the young brother. The government is taking him down. Nobody know they come and talk already, but everybody they come out say they want to be a flag bearer. So this is the things where some of us they talk about, and we'll always talk about these things because we get for look the reality. Certain things we reserve them for now. We need to talk until after elections. We reserve certain extent we will not go up on this conversation. The left and but the time go reach, we'll go discuss them in detail. We'll go, for now, we'll left and so we'll play with people and no more. Let peace then at the party, let stability there, let unification come. But can you imagine wake up tomorrow morning? Then guys are able for say, you know what, we don't go hang it. We don't decide say, you know what, for bring peace in the party, for bring unity in the party, and for let we unite, we support us them. Yeah. Then we all come together. We don't decide say with this flag bearership for now, we get to this one person here. So can you imagine how beautiful that would be for APC? I guarantee you, the fet they done at APC tomorrow morning. Because everybody go feel like say, yes, we belong to an organization where there is unity of purpose. But right now,
but again, if these guys were to do that, don't you think like this old team 18, it means like people we're supposed to be ward chairmen, chairwomen, and like whatever you call them, comrade. Don't you think they would have surrendered their own position? Because it is all about who that day within Samura Kamara.
Exactly.
You will get like the Mahmoud, you will get like the Yaya Tunis, you will get like the henchman of Samura Kamara. We don't go henchman now. It means every other person don't surrender. Or could it be like Samura Kamara will be a good leader and begin to think and say, no, now that you saw people are not kind of like throw their support to me? Because remember, them people are all get them people that we above them. It means if they surrender their position, it means that they surrender like their followers them and all that in the day. Would Samura Kamara be this leader we go kind of like say, you know what? Because like the likes of Mahmoud, you know, they get like this team will not be formed already, Ibrahim. And this means that people are going to be disenfranchised as a result of like the other people they are doing this. Because, you know, Ibrahim, the way we don't see things, first of all, we've been completely against Alfred Peter Conte. Completely. And up to today, right?
Right.
But don't you think like it's about time and say, you know what, Alfred Peter Conte, let's come together. Don't you think like the Anis Koromane gets a role for play? Don't you think like the Mikhailo Koromane gets a role for play? The Payansane, because again, Payansane, what is he doing? Like what's in that role? You see, Ibrahim, it don't come to a time. Make all man, you know, like you say, family think in a bed, but in a broke. Why can't they just come back and say, you know, if Natik, I remember like when we began by Natik, like you know, when you want bed, we can kind of like they catch tick pattern for Olam until it kind of like gets a root back for making it by himself. Ibrahim, why make the no offending tick they are where as a result of when the banana tick the bed, may they catch something pattern where they hold them upright? Why?
You know, Kashi, this is what I would say to that. You see, African politics, majority of the problem will get the African politics now because it's a lot of hypocrisy within the political system in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody know for talk because the phrase we talk, you get for hurt the other person in feelings. If you look at this part of the world, we'll finish yourself. Waiting save we from Donald Trump elected because there's a few people within the Republican Party we say, I cannot tolerate this. Not even a few, a lot of them. We're not going to take this. So then they come out and speak up now against what's they see, the bigotry, racism, the corruption. They speak up against their own political party. They even ask for investigations against their own political party because they believe in the soul of democracy. Africa, the problem we'll get, people they play a lot of background politics as opposed to coming to the foreground. So you know they know the game where they play. So Markin can talk to you, but within the deeper and behind the scene, we know the see, brah. Now that thing now, deep thing in the deeper. That is the problem with the African politics. So maybe until we break that threshold where people are comfortable to come out in the open and talk. But we come to former President Nkrumah case as an example. This was a man where the court go and dissolve the executive and say them ban him from the political party. I can understand your own stance where they take because he's a godfather in salon politics they like it today. And I'm not saying what a powerful. And Kashi, the other day I shared a video of former President Nkrumah where we talking about McKinney emergency, delegates conference. Wait, to mention all them people in there. I think former President Nkrumah, we don't talk down. To me, as far as I see, we big man they talk, if we don't talk down. Because we don't see all these problems.
I don't agree with that. Like, like Papa na a godfather or whatever. The reason why people, I remember back in the days, my mom and dad were always like god mommy and god daddy for all, like nearly all married na free tongue. But Ibrahim, there are issues them waking they come up. I remember man, they kind of the Congo Sawi, they talk, they kiss them. And not once, not twice, not 3 times. You can go on and on. You nearly tire because now you supposed for, there must come a time, Ibrahim, where, again for CNC narrating, yes, they've disrespected me. The Alfred Peter Conte don't tell me, say, they go pull me hand, like, oh, it's binary, it's 0 or 1, and all ends in the day. But you see, Ibrahim, do not let the family tree die. Do not let it die.
I see your point, Kashi. I see your point. If anything, I see maybe you're saying something along the line like, even if President Nkrumah come out and say, hey, I see all this trouble really going within the APC. I don't talk, I'm Shade. Again, when I left forget these divisions, this team, this squad, within the party. Of course, now they create this problem. Everybody come together and work as one. Maybe soft statements like those I could understand. Maybe if that's what you're saying, because see, of course, again, who can say anything. We bring, they say don't take one side, and he has never taken anybody inside. Even where a point where they come out for make the announcements about Dr. Samara Kamara, not on your own decision. Now the National Delegates Conference where he call them and come together and say, okay, we give to Dr. Samara Kamara. So it was never his decision in the first place. You know what I mean? So I can understand their role in Africa and politics, because even like to the violence when they go burn them boss and this and that. I think the former President Nkrumah, if he come out and mention something along the lines of even when I stop this violence from politics, they go any side. I think then they go a long way with the young man, them young woman, them within the country. But how much they don't tell young people and say when I left political violence, politicians they can't give money, say go cause trouble. In welfare picking in the house, some of them picking in the travel just don't come, if not even overseas, but neighboring countries, then they don't pull out the country because they know what they do. If you see politicians they run for polling picking there, look, it's part of the world of himself, Kashi and comrade. How much politicians they come out Donald Trump? He's sending picking and going inside after we don't come on power for saying they're gonna first go to London. No, then they're inside the country because the system is just inequitable. They believe in the system, they are protecting the system. But winners alone, politicians, and watch the election just now. All man they send their welfare picking them. Whether they go England, whether they go Guinea, whether they go Liberia, because they know what they don't do. The seeds that they've sowed. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. So this is the problem within the African context. But again, I'm not going to hold President Nkrumah culpable to anything. But if he come out and speak softly again, just to remind them, say these are things where I don't talk already. When I see what's happen. And I don't go blame the PPRC for letting stopping because people forget their voice is hard. Grievances are there. When I left this political violence, when I left for take these sides, everybody work together as one in the APC party. It might go a long way. Who knows? Because we from President Nkrumah talk, the ground they shake. I mean, it's a fact. We cannot take that away from him, But people get for land because you don't tell this man they talk about uniting Sierra Leone, let everybody work together, left tribalism, and not get political detainees. They don't tell where they talk. But Salon people, the problem is they don't go back to look at history and make a refined judgment based on waiting somebody we don't talk in the past. They're always that they knew. If you even look like when you check Facebook, if it's constantly people want to be fed the same old things but in a new way, the same old things but in a new way, then they go back, look into the archives, dig deeper, say, let's check this person in page 1 year back, what if you don't talk? 2 years back, what if they say, and stuff like that,
Ibrahim, like who you say former President Nkrumah, not to say he selects Samora Kamara single-handedly by himself, and he then on record that he asked them for let them choose among themselves. Then say, "Pa, choose for me." He say, "When I go right, if not to you, who that nobody, no all man can give white paper." And say, "Pa, anyway, we choose among we ready for support." You see, Ibrahim, something in the like former President Nkrumah statement on a policy statement. There ain't reason for make say anything. Maybe you look at and say if you say something, sometimes it will be more worse than what you will say. So we don't see so many times you don't call them together. Even in the when you go adopt the new party constitution, you call all of them. They say the problem na APC, not to say na SLPP. The problem na APC na done when they fight for flag bearer, when they fight for position, that's the problem. When I go solve the problem. That's a very honest way we do. People they may laugh about them. But if you look at them, they talk from the bottom of your heart, say, now like we don't talk to people in a corner inside room to Ibrahim, now you get for out na palo. Say now the problem, now the problem, una na the fight for Tom flag bearer, other one Tom president, una the problem. They were laughing about him, but not being the truth. So like as they say in statement, and still do it now in a policy statement. And me, I always tell former President Kuma, say, let not allow Utin and do in 2018, say, na the pa, anybody say, na the pa, and don't make a very clear, say, you not tell nobody for do anything, everybody go fight in your battle. Try as much as you can for make the party for like unity kind of the party for like peace kind of the party. In don't do you for 20 years, being a president for 2 terms, being a chairman of the party for 20 years. I think he has done more than what's possible to uphold the party in difficult times. President Kumar left APC just after we come on power. That was his plan, but he said no, Lano left the party at this time. Lad try, and they don't try. Ibrahim, the people are waiting for when they try for succeed and if they don't look at the bigger picture, say, you know what? Now we can't take for Musa this man don't left. Within themselves, if don't be honest to themselves, honest comparison, look at yourself, look at you for now. Mean as supposed to be president, but this time, yeah, not to be term, not support what we go don't choose. Then say for be honest, Ibrahim. You see, this honesty, and they come to all them comparison there. The problem not honest to themselves. They no see really this are the only way forward this now. Trust me, already talk as well. Now they're not honest. I think the man has done very much for all the party, and they don't quite. Me say we don't talk at time and again say at this point in time, in statement, maybe it's very important. Absolutely. For once, for let people not say. This is my stance. I always mean this time is stand. I will not always take for all the party, and this time is stand. It's important. It's very important for like all for today. You like it or not, is the political godfather, not just for Sierra Leone, for the sub-region as a whole. So for every time he talk, people listen, and people will not say, "Hey, this is not the man who they wait for." He's talking.
Absolutely. But if President Kuruma talk, now it's like that's a cuts too. The cuts paper, bruh. But anyways,
Ibrahim, I understand the disrespect they don't actually care go to
Oh yeah.
I understand that. But you see, I think the APC need like a strong voice. And I understand because even the very people within the flag bearer, they get so much against them, so much beef against them. So if even they talk, they will just answer, but they would not do anything. No men when you see when they all go launch show, they all the calling name or they calling name.
Right.
They all like get something against them. Mm-hmm. Maybe I understand that, but you see, I think if we don't come to this place, Ibrahim, I think President Kuruma need to come out and save this party where he say he love.
Yeah.
Where in a way he make up, not only he make ministers them and all that. Yeah. I think they need to look for the future generation. If they not, have to.
You're right. If not for anything, Comrade Nkashi, for President Kuruma, APC was dying. We resurrect her.
Yeah.
We cannot take that away from him.
Exactly.
APC will die. Exactly. When NPRC became, I remember what bring Honorable Kamosi say, Ibrahim Kamosi say, where they talk about the fact that they're all afraid for associate themselves with APC at that particular point in time because of the NPRC. Because then goal will before kill the APC party. So anybody will go team up for APC, they won't kill them. So former President Kuruma stood the test of times. Now he able to come and get our people with, of course they seem to read they all be there around, and the Pastor Kamal, they all the one they be there around. There was a lot of contention and this and that, but he rescued APC. From 2002 election, where APC began within 5 seats or so, till 2007 later, he rescued the APC. And that is why, again, I say people like Honorable Kemosi say, a lot of these other guys who can contest for flag bearership, to hell with you. Where were you when APC was struggling, when the party they suffer? Yeah. Where were you? Then bring on a normal camp because, again, this Boku, PhD, President Kuruma, go see someone next day, I bring a guy who can do better for me. But where were you when the struggles of the party? So a lot of these guys will come, they've never suffered politically and struggled politically within the party. But like I can say, these are analyses they were reserved for after elections. But, President Kuruma, for the sake that he fought for the APC as a party, for the APC team up to reach. Then can go court, the court fit dissolve executive, blah 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 blah. I understand all of them things, and they're painful for anybody.
Ibrahim, look, you see, like you have places like people like okay, they talk about the brand names, like the Konski a name and all that thing. And you see, Ibrahim, like they get rid of like directors them like of companies them we don't be tainted. Ways and things and go get involved or do something nasty. They get rid of them because they want to keep the brand name. And make no mistake, President Kuruma kind of like bring life back to the APC.
Absolutely.
I understand that. And this is the reason why it shouldn't sit by and allow waiting himself help and then then waiting like the party back will help because trust me, APC was nowhere. Like waiting the reference you make to Honorable Kemosi say, like back in the days, like apparently they only had 5 seats in parliament.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a political party now where they boast of like over 60 something seats in the parliament, where they go pull that they only had 5 seats in parliament, Ibrahim.
Mm-hmm.
Make this man come back and kind of like bring this political party to this stage. Why sit by and allow, waiting on that don't fit for to be destroyed right now?
Absolutely.
No, but again, like it's like comrades say, maybe they try for because of the disrespect, so they don't care go to have and all that in it. But it gets for kind of like bites in lips. It gets for kind of like say, let's bygones be bygones, and then we kind of like fix this thing. And these guys are very arrogant. Don't make no mistake. They're very arrogant. Some of these guys, when they so they're very arrogant. They're guy they are the team when they talk behind. Don't see when they come now. Just so the team when they talk behind. It is so
divisive.
damaging.
Yeah.
But you see, Brian, I think it gets a role for play.
Right. And
to be people and they look up to them. Sorry.
No, Kashi, no, you're good. I'm just saying, enough for yourself a need for bring them all come back to the table and this and that. It's just a general statement where they resonate with the grassroots of the party. That's all, bruh. That's all it takes. But anyways, you see, Kashi, it goes back to what we talk about with people and get misplaced priorities. Now, we need to say again, we go against PPRC. PPRC chairman is doing the right thing. But again, Comrade Kocha, you remember, effective participation in politics. The PPRC chairman, we don't talk about. Now, look what happening.
That is the key, Ibrahim. That is the key. For participate effectively, it's different.
Absolutely.
Ibrahim, you cannot fight in the pig at the marketing day.
Comrade.
I don't tell people say, don't look at matter being failure. Forget about for look at the opposition, their own weakness, so people then they lose sight of. All they look at say, don't go 2 million. Cement don't do so. Then they look at the man in failure. Then they forget about the own theory for make this man in failure come to practice. Ibrahim, you cannot take an incumbent like ruthless incumbent like Madabi. All man don't agree because we don't agree say if we lose. And it is on say that man will lose. What if we do? If that man they wanna get power for control him. When I get parliament no able control that. Ibrahim no fight again the man can left executive order. Parliament no they again they determine the fate of the country because when parliament don't close this law, the notice of cabinet, no more they decide what to happen. Then there's someone in chief them. You don't tribalize them. Everybody now from one thing, one mentality. Ibrahim, if we just continue for say mother don't feel, we already know. Then they don't clear one. Jara Roman this year. But waiting for let mother be come power. Now in Udipa talk so. We started saying these things from what we begin to talk for NI number 2 years before time. We don't talk about NCRA, we don't talk about for user ban registration, they deny. We talk about the PR system. Everything we talk now point because the point that certain people they own godfathers them. They see who they returned, they see who they fed APC. Imagine who they spend time day and night, day in, day out, they do live, they cancel, they call out this government and none of them know to go na salon for now. And so they fed APC. APC they fed for like an apart so that we do go na salon. In a follow go can almost cap period. Some of one live at the part of the world. God know that
exactly.
They so they fed APC because to the point the fight. People will take the fight for let the fight be practical.
That is Africa.
They bring the operation to life. Show the people the voting at the danger if in case we fail. Then see who the first problem.
That is Africa.
Parliament. Then so the first.
Comrade.
Now one question to come out.
Exactly.
Who they talk about parliament? All like that. They say for waiting. We don't ever come for any position at APC. No, we don't come for any position at Salona, constituency, even ward, the least one award, we don't come for that. We just say, Lord, try to get an effective opposition where they take on this government here, where you say, Ibrahim, the West, they do everything. Everything for doing non-do. Now we no more left for now put stuff together. Now get no say the only way for win now for now get effective participation. Ibrahim, if you see the non-slam in the non-put petition on APC for stop the convention, January 24,
and comrade, that side I want come. That January 24 date, where the PPRC chairman tell we say after January 24, no other election is valid, and they accept them. We mean say APC not even get a flag bearership today, and by right, by now at least we would expect say them for they go into the flag bearer conventional part of this process, and not reach there yet. Comrade, tell me, tell Salon people that anything don't change from what
let it challenge that in the say what in the man means say after January 24. We be so get case na court. We tell them say no, we not agree because who get case na court. because when they go back and forth, so that thing not applicable to APC because I know hold this party for over 2 years in the court. But every point we raise, because so this is a genuine point of view, and the point we raise out with the direction to people where they for the lead, then so they felt pull, so they take in an other perspective rather than for look at the reality. You are not like us. You are not like me, Cashbox or Ibrahim or the platform. But look at what they say when I have the interest of the people. Them for everything we don't talk and say, we know they make music. If one make money, who say for dinner, for don't open your YouTube channel, they will not talk foolish. People make play na YouTube and just laugh from what they get. If you want $1,000 per month, they give you. We don't get that for us. If we don't get that money for month.
Absolutely.
Okay, we will get that for us. We give 2, 3, 4, 5 $1,000 a month. We don't work self. So don't balance. But we're doing this thing free. People they use audios them, videos them, they put it at the YouTube channel for let them make money. We don't worry about that.
Absolutely.
All to let the message go. But whatever to be not in this platform, they take and say, I don't know say them pull this mentality for so they fed possible. They don't do all kinds of things. So they fed for candidate, they so they fed for running mates, let's say you know business and they Uda flag bearer, Uda not flag bearer, Uda to run mates to business. All to want, law get a better democracy in a salon. They look it in another direction. Ibrahim, they're not great for take anything where they make judgment on APC. Which platform we can talk and say, when I challenge that judgment day. When I challenge that now before it's too late, then now they say no important. They say who they make so who they be after better content. 6 months after who to talk. 6 months after then they're gonna court for go interpret what TMC say. 6 months after
the parent get plan for
6 months after.
Let we move on. Like the parent get plan. But anyway, I do not want to go back there.
No, Cash let me consider audios and I will keep them. Why would they keep them? Maybe after June 10 they come. When they talk, they release them on this date. Now this will be say on this date. When I listen, because Salon, I don't ask the cash would always land. Oh, don't buckle foot. Would the only know so buckle foot, no can buckle foot the back. Only they pull the stump or the rope or the stone we did it. Now to the buckle foot the back will look and back will pass. And we're not ready for buckle foot to them. Now make any two take note of. Or they can't talk them. Or so they keep them always there. For tomorrow, we know they pray for less until happen to start full life. We know they pray for that. Not happen while changes come because that changes I think they help Salon.
Absolutely.
But equally, if we look at the possibility, the obstacle will get low time for Poland because Ibrahim, if you want worker, you need to get big river now before you not get canoe. You see the cross water.
No.
How you want one? If you like lungi this way, if you know the opposite, they can't free to or the lungi or the lungi.
All man
go use one means.
Yes.
So when they look at you don't see the obstacles them. And not to see that thin obstacle the way then they overlook when I inge for bring problem. We don't see them here. January 24 or 25 again. What's in the fate of the party after January 24? Now we'll talk to like Abraham so they want to. They tell me in your bus, I will come for council to the people who no kind of platform.
You never come again.
But get a honest conversation. They tell Ibrahim, hey, see me at the time I again say, I don't want to call anybody because we will message don't do for people and listen. Because people in the face say, you are not making us for God's sake. We got not doing the platform God for you all.
Yeah.
Anybody who call that for can't discuss for Salon, not for we, not for you, now for discuss the way forward of the country. Because I'm the talk to Salon Ibrahim. If the APC get themselves together, Salon don't save. So that make if you not be advised about APC, you need to get talk with yourself. If you not take any role for let you follow call, you need to call you.
No.
When no get appointment, they call no one call yourself because not sabi you. But for God's sake, can't talk to the people them. You don't understand the faith because the faith of Salon did on a hand today.
Absolutely.
From where say so we know the first time make any means, but up till date.
The time make chairman.
How much?
This Ibrahim, sorry, time make chairman. Today is the 19th.
Today 19th.
You know, this time make chairman. When I tell like this now, for bring this guy come like can talk to the public. But the guy 1 10 2 10, the first tell we say, well, you know, go for talk to we because you get for don't promise somebody say go talk to the first time platform. You know, talk about we can't tell we are do. Second time we say, okay, well, we'll bring this guy. Look, I explain to the people exactly what's in the happen. Brother, the people call again and respond to messages. So this is Africa for you. You respect these people. They have no respect for themselves. They feel good of themselves. They feel big of themselves. They feel they're a better person.
When you see them get small, they don't put shoulder pad. They begin to crack their shoulder.
Absolutely.
You know, the problem now, and this is the thing, we only ask this question from when they come with the timetable, where the time make chairman come with in timetable. They said the 29 and then they choose Black Bearer. We kept asking the question. So waiting now on which basis, like the PPRC chairman be said the 24th? Is it like the constitution or whatever it is? I do not know. On which basis he been say that? And if he say that, then Una get the 29 now. Then we can know now. waiting at the arrangement for say, like, yes, like the 24, when I can still skip up when I get the 29, it is fine. We don't ask this question over and over. Now the 24, they can pass. Okay. We've only got 5 more days, and then the 29, they can pass. Then waiting, like, now, on which basis now the APC, they move on? Is Fatima Bio's statement about APC, Amanda Bio going unopposed, they come to fruition, Ibrahim? We do not know. We kept asking this question. We do not know the answer to these things. We invited this time, chairman, Ibrahim Sori, like he came down with platform, talk strictly, say he just want to tell people that I do. But for no question and all that, the one of the problem will be saying he came back from where he go. You know, first of all, not on this platform before cancel, may go other side. May he explain these questions that we are asking, Ibrahim, because this platform will not there for kind of like begin to say, oh, well, you can talk to we now with it. No. We do our stuff. We just ask questions. We raise issues. We talk about issues. Like and then we accommodate other people the ideas then. And by the way, Ibrahim, somebody ask, we say, oh, can we get people for me to ask questions from every people in the camp? They ask me question. We would love to do that. We don't get one problem with that because we know what we say it comes from our heart. But you cannot kind of like just keep the people. I'm not saying it was. I think it be there. SLBC on 98.1 a couple of days ago and all that in the day. But you see, even I was waiting for such questions for come up. But no, those questions they're not asking and all that in the day. But Ibrahim, the people need get honest conversation with them people here. The ITGC, what's not the function of the ITGC? What's not the function of the time? Like today we get confusion inside it. Apparently they get meeting today with BBIC. BBIC don't put hold on. So what's not the future of the APC? What's not the future? And the followers, the people we above say SLPP for go. How SLPP they go? 257,000 people got deleted from the register. Like people, almost thousands of people and the first time voters were refused for many register them. All that in the order they ask this question. The above no more than say the international community, the international community, But what you want to do so right now within the APC, the one thing the international community stand for, which is democracy, democratic principles, is what you guys are kind of like defeating and waiting SLPP they expose una. So then una sit down, they say the international community, These are all tactics from the SLPP and say, oh, the one they always say on a visa option, look what they do. Do they adhere to democratic principles? We don't know.
Kasi, that one is also 257,000 people are not deleted. Now, you know the topic again any longer as a low self. You need the real self.
Yes,
no answer not do it to who said and delete them, who said and do over voting, who said and do underage voting, then just say 257,000 people, then don't delete them at the list. Who said and delete them? Kasi, now 90-something,000 vote, 90 might have used power soon as a low.
Yes.
90 and power soon president.
Yeah. 90,
so would I know now who said and put that 250,000 now who's district now who's constituency now which region now which part of the country they do nobody know that we don't talk to you don't cry we don't cry we don't talk about that no answer nobody the parliament parliament they close this now wait parliament will close this now nobody then just focus on Mother Bill don't fail. Hey, look, you don't keep me to the neck. You don't EU keep meeting. EU pull out of sensors and good sensors.
Yes.
UN pull out sensors. The fund that they are when they spend money, they say we don't take money, then go the sensors.
Thank you.
EU don't condemn neck from day one and the judiciary 30 days. Then they capitalize on them for the rest. The rest deal to me. They don't keep me to the neck. But the question they will not ask. We not say we talk about neck 9 pull pressed. Now the pull statement say 215,000 people don't delete them from the voter registration. Which area they delete them? Biometric registration and not delete 270,000 people. And we don't make a whole former first lady. No, kasi what he pass a former first lady in name. This also say now under this possibility former first lady. We there's not now. Now God know that we think we do under the possibility. This is a whole former first lady of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Who's there? It's also the
the way you go to tell you say no, you name not in a corner or Nakaila. Who's the political responsible?
No, it's very simple. So this one, remember, Kasi, that no they by the 257,000 with the pull. Yeah. Then swap them and they know the deal. Yes. And I mark my words say all them swapping they get from the northwest western area. Maybe Kono to by extension Kono. Even
the one the way they don't go do verification, send them for camp, then they do it deliberately, then send them go.
That's why they do. Because the answer very clear.
Oh, I mean, they're not in that commission.
Mangure makini they say na in na boy komot.
Yes.
You go area.
Yeah.
And look, it's not all them here questions. Then for all reasons here, able cash not to the first election alone they get it. We don't begin get a democratic election from 1996. We get an 202. We get local council 204. We get second election third election 207. We get local council 28. We get to fourth election in 2012 when a president election. We don't get an 2018 the fifth one. Able cash. So the one time we say all the years they are all blind, will not be the full procedures, will not nothing happen. Will not ever vote as alone. First one this. People and they will not participate. Like let me make her to be specific.
They expect
no lawmaker to be specific now.
Yeah.
Cherikuko na 207 go to parliament. But they vote 2002. You want to say they don't know how to vote 202. From 207 go to parliament. You want to say don't forget all them the whole government they are accountable. You don't be your party. In the leader of the position. Kashi, we no one call Cherikuko name. But sometimes they will just get for measure and for let them see these are the people responsible for let APC get clear victory. Not responsible.
Embassy and the UK embassy for check the register.
We just saying what we are saying for for records for tomorrow. Then no say we know a guy against we want to talk we don't talk already. And we believe say through God in power, through God in direction, whatever two don't the same. 80% of what we don't say don't come to pass. Then we'll cost you for them, then we'll do so. We'll talk about affect content and make all kind then cost you all kinds of things and cost you mad innocently. We agree, we accept in good faith. We say we and them say them in talk them. We begin point out so many things them. Whatever two don't say, Cassie don't come to pass. We say then say follow and no say elections, not to match the winner. Election na focus so they get on the ball, putting our eyes on voting importance, not to match Cassie.
Yeah, well, since then they wait for the UK embassy for go check the register for them comrade. And they wait for like the American, Ambassador Mula, Lisa Chesley, like David Reimer. Maybe like this is what they're waiting for them for men to go check the register for them, Ibrahim, because comrade, always then they say, oh well, the international community no. When I wait no more, the international community they pull them. Then where did they go? Then they pull them. When I see don't know more, they do nothing. When I just see don't know more. It's just like APC they be comrade. It's just like for make somebody go sit exam, not study you. But where go now the only go begin to pray. Begin to kind of like lick their record now. They pray all kind pray for make it pass the exam. You don't study you don't do nothing. You don't be the study. When you competent they study. Then now all of a sudden they want to see them like
the student
make understand.
The student knows Cassie.
This is a joke.
The student knows the teacher now one student.
This thing where they dip and so like APC not seriously don't they defend themselves like sometimes you want kind of like things say for God's sake. How would I go able to come together? We don't talk about Alfred Peter Conte. When I see them, when I say no, let me accept them for peace sake. Cowardice attitude. Cowardice attitude, comrade. They sit down, they accept this ruling. They don't want to come on back. That's when they go to court for me. They go interpret the ruling for them. They put a lawyer inside it. But one day people will understand how this thing happened. They put a lawyer inside the committee. This lawyer cannot advise them waiting at the right thing. They advise like Alfred Peter Conte. Say no, that's so you been do. And the reason, this is not the whole thing. If the lawyer be advised Alfred Peter Conte, then it means that clear contempt of court. Because the lawyer now make them say 20 years experience. What's that this guy name? When I the lawyer for the committee, they get this, then they get a law firm. Or whatever they call it. If this guy be the advice Alfred Peter Conte, the Alfred Peter Conte clearly flouts the rules, that's a clear contempt of court. And waiting and do Edmond Abuso, they don't treat Alfred Peter Conte so. But no, and if the lawyer not be the advice Alfred Peter Conte, then it means the lawyer not in job. Then
You know, Kashi, where they talk so, me and America say, would they get less for talk now? Would they get less for talk? However, the quoting that young man sent to me, anybody if you say you get until we want to discuss, if you say one can talk now platform, the platform is open for you. If you say get something for can discuss or listen to Salon Populem, it's open. We know that if anybody for can talk, equal they ready for somebody for can talk back. Because we keep doing what we're doing for the interest of the people, for the country and for people. So if you feel say you get something for talk, one man don't send an audio, you might not know him, but all I know we don't listen to your audio, then the platform open. Anybody if you say you want for like the voice now at this point in time moving forward to elections, the platform is everybody get up. Not to we get this platform for the people of Sierra Leone.
Yeah. You know, comrade, you know, Salon, I always tell people, say, we get a long way for go. We understand the pain we people in go through. And comrade, make no mistake, leading to the election is going to be tough times for Sierra Leoneans. It's going to be tough. And we need to encourage one another for make we kind of like show resilience because it is not going to be easy. People are going to kind of like face some real challenging times, comrade. And my worry is, you know, like we just begin to see companies, then they roll up, then they kind of like left we can't ski, or then they stop operation and all that, and they, you know, the world is opening up, comrade. These are booming times. Yes, inflation they come where they affect the world, but these are booming times, comrade. But now the time when they get companies, then they run away from we country. And I keep saying this: Standard Chartered left we country, like not because like the Standard Chartered and their policy that want on Africa, but the problem we're facing right now, it's bigger than that. It is bigger than that, and we're going to see the dollar kind of like really destroy the country. They ravage that country big time, and it's about time Salon people stand up and face reality. The APC where the people seem for maybe since the Abu Pansi could rescue them. Like they're nowhere to be found. They sit down, then they destroy the fabrics, waiting all them together. You get like the lawyer Kaloko, then they come up with a story. Then you get like the Kelfala Mara, then they come up with a story. Then everything that they've done, waiting they don't do before. And this is the annoying thing. Sometimes you listen to like you know, we don't want kind of like have a go or kind of like distort anybody in campaign or whatever. But the fact is still like. Una don't sit down, una come together. Maybe it's not, maybe we need to even stop, you know, like having a go at like these people and all that, and even though it is the right thing, but you guys have to come together, sit on the round table for God's sake. Una think about the people that we don't lost their lives. Think about the evangelist Samson, we kind of like, you know, in a way sacrifice in life, in beginning life, in family life for the APC. Think about the people and we don't kind of like go jail, the common creator, the Abubakar Darami, the Paulo Conte, the Abba George Williams and all that. And they forget about the factions. You know, think about APC because that is what Una need right now for save Una nation. Ibrahim, I don't know if you're back, and if you are, maybe we should just try to end it then.
Absolutely. You know, Kashi, I don't know if we're going to talk on the top up increase where we see the young man and young people and go protest in front of Orange, and but I think so.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, yeah, except if you want more today.
No, I don't get time again, really.
Well, let's leave it for tomorrow.
A continuation, also, Kashi. Continuation tomorrow. Exactly. Comrade.
Yeah.
You good? All right.
Comrade on mute, I think.
Okay. Yeah. We continue on tomorrow, but at least for APC, we don't talk to for talk.
Yeah.
And I think let them know would they focus on national issues them.
Right.
And the government in failure than coming on the APC at all time, because we don't point them long ago. They take a statement then in an object in an objective point of view. They not take you like to hit somebody or the first person for a position or somebody. You know, then they go to the level say people would have to pay. They're not used to take in an honest point of view. If you know what happened, how they not mortgage themselves, so they feel mortgage yourself. For God's sake, If I mortgage yourself, no matter being the best person for mortgage yourself because you're not man. You know, man, if you buy mortgage, you trust me. If you buy mortgage yourself, you don't support Yunkela, you don't see a message. If you don't sit up and say, okay, I don't care. You just stay no matter. You go alone, then see you know, that's it. To all get rule for play. But we say no, we choose not to. We choose not to. So who that they will give you voting? Who will get for self? Hey, matter of fact, them some of who now swear to believe all this while will not believe in somebody who believe in the sweat. So if they take advice all this while, we talk in a very clear point of view. So the pointers them say, hey, this thing not the benefit APC, this thing not the benefit the country. Then to like say, hey, the man they hit this person, then they vote for running made, then they vote for flag bearer. No business. All those care about when I get leadership, they can kick this bad government so that we get a better Sierra Leone. Period. So they focus on that's what issues.
You know, to make a mistake.
Pull more episode when it's important for not talk, you can't talk for reference for evidence for the records.
Correct.
But we know they can't begin waste time there every day. You get for seeing you to they can't take from a real topic there.
Absolutely. You know, so I think a mistake when I say we support candidates because you know, say from the day one when we don't stand behind, say Dr. Samura Kamara with everything. This man don't care. You don't fight with him. People don't stay with them. Make the people relevant. The people get hope at a time. We hope not day. Now that day, hey, the support. I am telling you guys, based on the merits of what the man don't do, me and a man we believe in people and where they act. When you act, I see him for myself to God in this day. That's all I need. Not to behind the scene. Oh, I know the talk about behind the scene where you act in front of my face. I see kind of Yunkela. I saw you all corny, the chamma, the I say the Hegrio. I say we don't get the kind of a leader who they look for. Now so enough fail me, enough fail nobody. It fail himself. It disappoints himself. Now I make the today people they come back out, they go after him. Say this man, if you be serious in times like this, you not take the name for the nine for be the flag, nine for be the up running right now in the country, the NGC party and Kande Yumkela becoming president at a time like this. If you be serious, but anyways, now left day. All right, guys. Tomorrow we'll continue this conversation. It done. Salon go better for we all. Not they pick no sides. Hey, Dr. Samara come on, no sabia from Adam one day, no sabia yanda for who side one day we no meet up, we no see. But I go by posting act, any actions. Same like I say, Honorable Ibrahim Kemosi say, I see himself. While they wait him up, I don't do a whole life. Where he say, man, is a copist, he's a killer. He talk true, Honorable Kemosi. I get respect for people like that. When they come and point the fact, you know, lie. If they get case against them for the jail. But no, there is no case against them. Then just use the system for harass the man. Period. Anyways, bye-bye, everybody.